Hey guys, it is Julie here with TipRanks. In today's video, we're taking a look at the recent earnings report from several Dividend Kings. So let's get into it. Alright guys, welcome back and thank you all so much for being here. We are in the middle of a very busy earnings season with a lot of big name companies reporting, and some of those include Dividend Kings. These are companies that have not only paid but have also increased their dividends for over 50 consecutive years, which is no easy feat. So we're going to take a look at a few of these companies and their dividends, how they performed in their most recent report, and what analysts are predicting for the stock's future. And some of those outlooks are much better than others. Of course, if you want to see for yourself what the analysts have to say, you can download the TipRanks mobile app by using the link in the description down below. Now let's jump right into our Dividend Kings. First up, we're taking a look at Procter Gamble. Their stock trades under the ticker PG, currently priced at $156 per share. Now they are fairly flat over the past year, but has seen growth of over 11% in the last few months. And let's see if you can guess when they reported earnings report, up a few percent over the last 5 days. Procter & Gamble has been in business since 1837 and is the company behind some of the biggest brands in your home. The company is divided into 5 different segments with beauty, grooming, healthcare, fabric and home care, and baby, feminine, and family care. Some of the popular brands owned by the company includes Head & Shoulders, Pantene, Olay, Gillette, Oral-B, Vicks, Tide, and Pampers. Procter & Gamble has been paying a dividend since their incorporation in 1890, so that is 133 years of dividend payments. And their latest increase this year marks the 67th year of dividend increases. They pay a quarterly dividend of 94 cents per share for a dividend yield of 2.34%. The next payment will be coming up on May 15th. The company just reported their earnings on April 21st, and if you notice the big jump up on the price chart, things went well. Not only did they have an earnings beat, but the company also increased their revenue forecast. They reported revenue of $20.1 billion, which grew 4% year over year, and their earnings per share of $1.37 came in 5 cents higher than expected. And of course, following this earnings report, the analyst ratings came pouring in. Overall, the Procter & Gamble stock comes in as a moderate buy, and we have 13 analyst ratings within just the last week. Overall, the stock has 17 analyst ratings with 11 buys and 6 holds. The average price target of $164 would be an upside potential of over 5%. Looking at the most recent ratings, within the last week, we do have a downside of 4% as the lowest, and then they all range from a couple percent up to a high of nearly 15%. Beyond that, we do have a couple price targets that have downsides from a few months ago. Our second Dividend King recently reporting is Coca Cola. They trade under the ticker KO, currently priced just shy of $64 per share. Now, they've had a lot of ups and downs this past year and have come out fairly flat, but have seen some steady growth in the last few months. Taking a look at this past week, we can see a spike after their earnings, which came out just yesterday on the 24th, and then things have cooled down since then. Coca Cola is a company that needs little to no introduction. They've been around for 136 years, selling their brands in over 200 countries worldwide. The company is number 1 worldwide in value for these following categories, and they have over 900 bottling plants and 30 million retail customer outlets. Coca-Cola has been paying a dividend for over a century, starting in 1920, and they've now had 61 years of dividend increases. Their quarterly dividend is 46 cents per share for a current dividend yield of 2.78%. As mentioned, Coca-Cola just reported their latest earnings report yesterday, and things went well. They beat on both earnings and revenue. The company has been successfully battling inflation by increasing prices on their drinks. With that, we saw the company report $10.96 billion in revenue, and earnings per share of 68 cents came out a few cents ahead of analyst expectations. And of course, following the report, the analyst ratings came pouring in. Overall, the Coca-Cola stock has a strong buy consensus. With 15 analyst ratings, we have 12 buys and 3 holds with an average price target of $69, which would be growth potential of over 8%. Looking at these most recent ratings, we do have a handful of holds with a slight downside, but a lot of buy ratings coming in with some upside potentials of over 15%. Closely following Coca-Cola was their main competitor, Pepsi. Trading under the ticker PEP, their stock is priced just shy of $190 per share. Now they are up nearly 12% over the last year, including some growth in recent months. And looking at this past week, once again, we can see where the earnings report came out. While Pepsi originally stood alone, they did merge with Frito-Lay back in 1965 to create one of the biggest food and beverage companies with over 500 brands. PepsiCo products are enjoyed by consumers more than 1 billion times a day around the world, with big brand names such as Lay's, Doritos, Cheetos, Gatorade, and Mountain Dew. PepsiCo just became a member of the exclusive Dividend King Club as they recently surpassed their 50th year of consecutive increases. With a dividend of $1.15 per share on a quarterly basis, their current dividend yield is 2.48%. The Pepsi stock is in the green today as investors digest the recently released earnings report. Not only did Pepsi beat on earnings and revenue, they also increased their future forecasts. The company said they now expect their full year 2023 organic revenue to increase 8%. They posted revenue of $17.85 billion, and their earnings per share of $1.50 came in well ahead of analyst expectations. Now, we will see more analysts weigh in the coming days following this report, but right now it seems that analysts are a bit more muted on Pepsi's outlook. The stock currently comes in as a moderate buy based on 5 buy ratings and 6 holds, and a pretty flat price target here of $191. Now, we do have a couple ratings coming in today, but again, no huge upsides there, and some hold ratings with potential downside over the last couple of weeks, so it'll be interesting to see how ratings come in following the report. Another Dividend King that just reported earnings today is 3M. Their stock trades under the ticker MMM, currently priced at $104 per share. Now, these guys have had a bit tougher of a year, currently down 26%, and we can see a small jump up here, but things have cooled off since their report this morning. 3M manufactures and sells a broad range of products from building materials, medical, and home cleaning supplies. Their portfolio includes popular retail brands such as Scotch-Brite, Post-it Notes, Command Strips, and Ace brand. They have been paying a dividend for more than 100 years and have been increasing that dividend for the past 64 years. They currently pay a dividend of $1.50 per share on a quarterly basis with a dividend yield of 5.71%, and that does seem a bit higher than usual, but they've had that downward pressure on their stock. Now, 3M did release their earnings report earlier today, and they beat expectations. However, the company did announce that they'd have to do further layoffs. They'll be cutting another 6,000 jobs on top of the 2,500 that they announced back in January. Their sales to automotive and aerospace buyers gained year over year, but sales of safety equipment, industrial, electronics, and home improvement dropped. They reported earnings per share of $1.97 from $7.7 billion in sales. It seems that analysts are a bit wary of 3M's future outlook, as we have a handful of sell ratings coming in the last couple of weeks. Overall, the 3M stock comes in as a moderate sell, with 0 buy ratings, 6 holds, and 5 sells, and a price target of $110. Looking at the most recent ratings from the last couple of weeks, we mostly have sell ratings with downsides from 1 to 15%. And our final Dividend King that recently reported earnings is PPG Industries. Their stock trades under the ticker PPG, currently priced at $140 per share. They're currently up over 10% this past year. And looking at the last week, we can see a jump up after the report on April 20th and another spike here yesterday. Spoiler alert, it's when some analysts increased their price targets. PPG has been around for 140 years. They manufacture and sell paints, coatings, and specialty materials. With a growing portfolio of sustainable and innovative products, they operate in more than 75 countries. Their products are used in a variety of industries such as aerospace, automotive refinish, industrial coatings, and protective and marine coatings. PPG has an impressive history of dividend payments, as they've been paying out since 1899, but they are a more recent joiner to the Dividend King list as they're just on their 52nd year of consecutive increases. They pay a quarterly dividend of 62 cents per share for a dividend yield of 1.73%. Along with reporting an earnings beat in their recent quarter, the company also saw record net sales. Their CEO said that the business benefited from solid global production growth and remains well-positioned. They had sales of $4.4 billion and earnings per share of $1.82 came in well ahead of analyst expectations. PPG has had several 5-star analysts increasing their price target in the last couple of days. Overall, their stock comes in as a moderate buy. That is based on 13 overall ratings with 7 buys, 5 holds, and 1 sell. The average price target of $152 implies upside of over 8%. Looking at those recent ratings, we do have a couple holds with slight upsides and 1 sell from 4 days ago, but we also have a lot of 5-star analysts with double-digit price targets. So there we have 5 Dividend Kings that have all reported earnings in this last week. Now we definitely have some varying outlook from analysts, and while a solid, stable dividend is always great, we love some growth potential in there as well. So let me know your thoughts on these stocks, what one catches your eye the most, and what are some of your other favorite Dividend Kings. I always appreciate hearing from you guys. Please keep in mind these videos are never a suggestion to buy or sell any specific stock and are just meant for information and entertainment purposes. Make sure you're always doing your own research and due diligence. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you back here next time.